Do you wave your terrible towel when Renegade plays? Reach for a tasty cake when JJ shouts, "He scores!" Does the sound of an F1 engine make your heart race? Doing push-ups with the Nittany Lion after a TD? Then lend us an ear, and we will share the exhilaration of Steelers football, the excitement of Flyers hockey, the nail-biting finishes of F1, and the pride when we yell, "We are Penn State." Welcome to the SteelFlyers show, the strangest combination of sports fandom since pineapple was put on pizza. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the SteelFlyers All Sports Network, and we are bringing in only the best for you. That's right, the Great Pearlo Wisdom. How you doing, Pearlo?
Good, buddy. Hot like everybody else, but
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you, boy. It is sweltering. That goes beyond saying, but we are here because we're going to be talking about the awards that were handed out in the NHL last evening. And we had a couple of prediction shows a little bit earlier during the season when it was getting close, when they were starting to line up the guys that were going to be nominated for the awards. And we had a list of guys that we thought were, going to be nominated, and then, who we thought was going to win. So we get to kind of come back full circle here and come back around and say, okay, this is who we thought, and this is how it worked out. So we are joined by the Great Pearlo Wisdom, and we're going to get right into it here, man. And so we would like to, first of all, congratulate all of the winners of trophies and awards for this year in the NHL. The NHL is not going to hold an awards show as they have in the past. They will be picking that up next year. This one was announced. They announced an award every night during the second or the third round of the playoffs, and now they've been announcing them, every other day here now, with the culmination of the Final Four awards being announced last evening by the NHL. And so that's what we're going to talk about, which is those 4 trophies being handed out and those 4 players winning those trophies. And then we might also get into a little bit of the NHL All-Star selection and potentially the NHL All-Rookie team. So lots of great stuff to get into. And Pearlo, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for joining.
Oh, I'll always be here if I can, which I almost always can.
That's right. So that's
hockey.
That's right. Talking hockey.
Pretty much on the top of my to-do list.
On a regular basis. I mean, you're the one that says you watch a divorce level of hockey.
Yeah, I just put it on the top of the to-do list, and then I get
there you go. All right. So let's go with the obvious one here first, because this one was, I guess I could say it was obvious. And we were talking about this off air too. Usually if you win a certain one of these trophies, you usually tend to win all of them. And the Hart Memorial Trophy was awarded to Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
And this is only the second player in all of the awards history to be unanimously voted as the winner of this trophy. The only other player being the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
We all thought, he was in the list to win this. And, like what you were saying before we got on the show about how usually if you win the Hart Trophy, and he also won the Lindsay. Right. And he also won the Ross. Right. Yeah. So he's, we were talking, usually if you win those 2, you win the Hart.
Yeah. For sure. Score, especially like sometimes a defenseman just rips it up, and of course he's not going to get the scoring title, but usually, especially when you crush it like McDavid does. McDavid is a guy that you don't even have to know the stats. If you didn't know the stats at all, and you just went and watched McDavid play like 5 games, you would be like, and even you'd be like, this is the best player in the game, right? Like, there couldn't be anybody better than him, right? Yeah, like he's way above everybody else. We haven't seen that since the guy that you mentioned where
Wayne
somebody
Gretzky,
is
yeah.
so far above everybody else.
It does seem like he is in that next level. I mean, even Matthews, Austin Matthews played a heck of a year.
Oh yeah,
Scored 41 goals. I
well,
mean,
maybe
dang.
maybe the best shooter I've ever seen.
Okay, but McDavid just, I mean, it's not like McDavid had, a slouch number of goals this year.
No, no, no. That's the thing. Like people say, well, Matthews is a better scorer, but I mean, in a sense, you can make, yeah, he is. He has a better shot, but that's it. That's it. McDavid has a better. Well, you can make a case that Matthews is better. However, that's a whole system thing that I could get in an argument about, but we won't hear. But as far as everything like passing, intelligence, speed, I've never seen a guy so fast with the puck on the stick since Bury. Bury was the last one that I saw.
That's a good comparison too, man. That's a really good comparison because man, that guy was just so fat. Well, hey, you got to give credit to where credit is due.
He was
You
crazy.
just got to, crazy fast.
Denny Savard back in the day, I don't know if you remember Denny Savard, guys like that. But I mean, he's faster than both of them. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
I mean, now I'll be honest with you. Now we were talking about this a little bit. Now I never got to see Wayne Gretzky play live.
Right.
Okay, but I have had the opportunity to see some of the other really. I've seen Lemieux play live. I've seen Yager play live. I've seen Forsberg play live. I've seen Lindros play live.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think that McDavid is just he's got all the tools and he's definitely got all the skills. And it's not that he can just score, but he can also set you up. He can make those passes. He can do those things. You know what I mean? And he's still so young.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's still got a ways to go. But I mean, 150 point pace in this day and age is equal, I think, and I think you'll see 150 points from him next year. 150.
Yeah, easy.
I think that's almost equal to the 192 that Gretzky put in his era because it was so much easier to get points and score back in those days than it is here.
Well, even Lemieux got like 160.
Yeah, I mean Stevie Yzerman got 120 or close
something
to it.
Like that. Yeah.
There was a lot of guys that got those upwards in the 100-point ranges back then, where you barely even see 100-point now. It's starting to become more so though. So it's starting to shift a little bit. They've changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I think it's close to, but it's like if we're going to compare the two, there's elements that Gretzky I don't think you'll ever see a more intelligent player than Wayne Gretzky ever to play the game on.
Right. I mean, we kind of had a agree to disagree where I felt that Gretzky was such a fast skater, and then we basically agreed to point out that it was his anticipation.
Yeah, it wasn't his actual skating.
Schema, right?
Yeah,
okay.
You didn't look at Gretzky and say, "Well, that guy's super fast."
Yeah.
But his anticipation to know where the puck is, there's never been anybody close. Never been anybody close.
Exactly.
He knew where the puck was going before anyone else did. He was off, and everybody was like, "Where's Wayne Gretzky going?" Oh, to get the puck.
Because that's where the puck is. Hey, how you doing?
Nobody knew the puck was going to be there. I'm watching in the stands. Like, I watched it live because I'm from Edmonton.
Yeah.
I watched it live, and you see Gretzky go, and you're like, where's he going? Oh, there he is. There, he's got the puck.
He's going to get the puck. Yeah,
It's not even nobody even knows is going there yet.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So, but to be in that same, to be unanimously voted like that, for McDavid, and he does possess that same kind of skill. He doesn't have quite the anticipation that Gretzky did, but he is a bit of a better skater, I think, maybe.
Way.
Yeah. So
best skater I've ever seen. People look like children out there sometimes when he's on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've watched enough McDavid to see that he just is on another plane. You know what I mean? He just really is. So, I would like to get into the next one here because this one here is the one that I think would potentially have been the most controversial, and that's going to be the Norris. Okay, because you and I both believe that
Yeah,
the NHL did it right with this one.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we all felt that Adam Fox from the Rangers would be. I mean, Hedman was on the list, and even though he kind of had a down year this year, you
Hmm.
know what I mean, and it wasn't his best year, but he's in the playoffs right now. But we all felt that Fox was the true deserving winner of this award,
Yep.
and I'm glad to see that he got it. I mean, aren't you glad to see that the NHL actually said, hey, let's give it to the guy who's actually the best defenseman in the league?
Yeah. Yeah, and when we were talking about who was going to win, and that was also with the prize, Peyton on the radio, of
Oh,
course.
yeah. Oh, and
Uh,
I believe John was part of that too. And we had everybody all involved in all that. So, yeah.
right. We said that, it's probably not going to happen because he didn't make the playoffs, and that's
Right.
been something that's been silly for a long time. Carlson should have won back in the day. There's been other players that were the best defensemen, but because they didn't make the playoffs, they didn't
Playoffs didn't
win.
win. Yeah.
And to me, that's just like, why? It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense at all to me at all. I never had an. It's. I think they do it more or less to try to put shine a greater light on a team making the playoffs and make it so it's more of a team winning, a team aspect award.
Because
But
there really isn't a team award. There's only like one team award, right? That's the President's Trophy, right?
uh, one, oh, by the way, I do want to mention something about here that goes in the same vein. There's only one team award, the President's Trophy. What do you mean by that?
No, I mean, is there another team award?
Well, the goaltender award for the lowest percentage, it goes to like two players that have the best, but not really a team award, no. Well, the
Okay.
President's Trophy, you mean winning like the President's Trophy, right? Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
there's
Yeah,
no award.
I guess not award like this. No, there's nothing like
Yeah,
this.
there's like,
This is all about the individual. So
yeah,
why would you? Why would it be? There's probably a reason behind all of it that it'd be an old school philosophy or thinking or something that just held on for a really long time. I never got it. The only thing I could possibly say that maybe this, especially since the cap world, because a guy that's not even on here he is on here. He was 10th. Jacob Chikrin. Jacob Chikrin could, I think, have been is almost as good as Adam Fox, and he plays for like Arizona. Now, if a team like Arizona has Jacob Chikrin and they're not a cap team, they're probably calling the league saying, don't give it to, because then you're going to have to pay him a lot more money once he wins a Norris. So if you're having trouble
yeah.
paying
Please
people,
don't give it to this guy
yeah,
right
don't give
yet.
it to him.
Yeah,
I know
well,
he's
yeah.
the best. I know he's the best, but we don't want him.
Wait till after he
We don't want
signs his
that.
contract, and then you
Yeah,
can give it to him.
then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
give it to him.
Yeah,
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 yeah. I'm
yeah,
with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with you.
But
Because
that's
that
about all I
usually
can think
does.
of it.
Because that usually does tend to vault players,
Of course. Yeah.
into that next pay bracket. You know what I mean? Hey, look, I won a Selkie. Hey, look, I won a Hart. Hey, look,
Yeah.
So, but congratulations to Adam Fox for winning the Norris. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Awesome.
way cool. That's we feel that the NHL got that one right. All
Super well
right.
deserved. Super
I
well deserved. Because
I
the old NHL would have went to, not the old NHL, it's still the NHL, but the NHL before would have went with the old standard and just took Victor Hedman because,
he's in the
even though he had a bad
playoffs.
year, he's still probably the best defenseman in the league. And
Yeah,
they're trying
yeah.
to they're trying to sell names too. So Victor Hedman, the more is a well-known name and all that kind of stuff like that. So
I'm with you.
that would be it. Also, let's give some props, and I think he's low here. I think he's low. Charlie McAvoy. I think McAvoy should have been number 2 or 3 on this list.
I agree 100% from Boston.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at the defense he had to work with there. He
yeah.
was
I
rushed.
agree. I agree 100%. I agree with that 100%. He should have been in the running for that one for
I
sure,
think.
or
Well,
at least in the top three. But well, hey,
we're going to talk about the first team All Stars here in a bit, and
yeah,
yeah,
well, hey.
there we go. Okay.
So the next trophy that we're going to talk about here is the Calder Trophy, and this is awarded to the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of, we all felt that Robertson was the true rookie, but Kirill Kaprizov was the actual winner of the trophy with
Wow.
51 points, 27 goals, 51 points on the year, as his first year in the league, under the age. So he makes it and he's able to win the trophy. Congratulations. I mean, the kid just lit it up. I mean, seriously, 51 points first year in the league. I mean,
Yeah. There's no going by the rules that are available to us. There's no doubt about it that Kaprizov was the Rookie of the Year, and yes, we did get into this discussion about the fact that he was in the KHL and all that sort of thing like that. And I actually was one that was more of a sympathizer to that rather than
yeah.
John. John and you guys thought that Robertson deserves it more because he was because he hadn't played against men before and all of those sort of things like
True
that.
rookie. I mean, as a true rookie, to me, a true rookie is like you've never played in the big leagues. That to me is a true rookie. Okay,
They
so
all,
I consider the KHL to be a big league.
yeah, I don't.
Okay, well, see, there's the difference.
There's
Do
the
you know what I mean?
difference.
Well,
That's
the
where it
reason
really came. That's where it really came
no,
down.
I got you. But see, and I understand though. I understand, but see, I look at the KHL as they're paying their guys pert near the same level that they're paying the guys in the NHL.
Yeah,
Their game is pert near the same as the game is here in the NHL. I mean, you see guys like Yager and who was that guy that just came in to play with Montreal for half of the season and then left after and played with Washington. And I can't think of who his name is right now, but there's been guys that have been back and forth with the KHL and
yeah,
in the NHL for the last how many years now? It's like here's the NHL, here's the KHL.
yeah. I guess that's if you look at it that way. I think the KHL is nothing compared to the NHL. And if you played in the KHL only and you're coming to the NHL, that's a daunting task. I would rather have played in junior than and come up and play in the AHL. Like, well, so what are you going to say though? Like, if somebody plays in the AHL and then comes in, is he no longer allowed to be a rookie anymore?
See, that's another thing where I maybe might disagree with you there too, because I don't necessarily consider the AHL to be pro. I
Yeah,
consider
but
that to be minor.
you get paid a pro contract.
Yeah, you
It's
get paid
considered
a contract.
it's considered professional. You're playing against men. You can make a case that the AHL and KHL are almost on par with each other.
Uh,
And,
that's still considered professional then. The way you're looking at it at the AHL is considered professional. You
yes,
just said that the AHL and the KHL are the same in your eyes. That
yeah,
makes the KHL professional level.
sure.
So
It's
if
a
you're
it's a
KHL and you're playing professional level for 4 years and you come to the NHL for your first year, how is that? How are you a rookie?
well,
You've played in a professional league already.
Norris, who got the first team All Star for rookies, he played 3 years in the AHL before he came in, and now he's on the All Rookie team. He was up for the Rookie Award, and I think the AHL is going to prepare you a lot better than the KHL for the NHL, and you're in a pro league. So if you're going to make the argument for one, you got to make the argument for the other. So that one you would
I
basically be only.
Yeah.
That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, no,
And,
yeah.
and not
Okay.
only that, you got Kaprizov's coming over to a different culture, a different style of game, a lot more hitting, a lot more violent, a lot
Smaller
more
ice. Yeah, I
smaller,
get it.
all that stuff like that. I think what he did was absolutely unbelievable.
No, Perlo, I'm not taking anything away from what Krill did this year. Not at all. And I'm not taking anything away from the fact that he did play in the KHL for 4 years. I don't look at that as a knock on him. Okay. That's not where I'm going with that. I don't look at that as, oh, that was a knock that he played in the KHL. No. To me, I look at that as more, excuse me, of a stepping stone for him.
Yeah.
That's why we have these discussions, because we agree to disagree on certain things.
Then here's the thing. Here's where you can make sort of an argument, I guess. Okay, this is the thing that is different between being the AHL and the KHL. In the KHL, Kaprizov stayed in the KHL for one reason and one reason only: money. He wanted to give his family a nest egg of money, because if he came over here, he would have to play in junior and the AHL, where you basically only make like 70 grand a year or something like that.
Whatever.
I don't blame him.
Not much money.
I don't blame him for a second. But honestly, the Minnesota Wild would have been telling him, you're probably doing yourself a disservice as far as your progression as an NHL player by playing in the KHL. And he rolled the dice that he could still do it, and he did. How much better of a player would he have been if he would have been the AHL? I don't know, because if he would have came over to the AHL when he was like 19 or 18, he probably would have crushed the AHL and been in the NHL by then. And he probably wouldn't have been good enough at that point to win the Rookie of the Year award. So in this way, the NHL it doesn't look as good on the NHL, because a guy can mature a little bit, make some money, come over here and crush it. Okay. I just think that it's still a very daunting task to go from the KHL to we've seen it over and over again.
Oh yeah. Not disagreeing with you at all.
How many times the KHL guys come over here, they put up good numbers, and they come over here and they just get ruined. Besides Panarin, maybe Dodonov. But
Sorokin came with a little bit of it took him a little bit.
Yeah.
Goaltenders takes a little bit longer, but I'm with you. What I mean?
There's a good argument for both. I'm not saying there's not. It's not a slam dunk, but I still think it's not as big of a deal as some people have made it. But
I agree.
Right.
So he won the Calder Trophy, and so congratulations on that.
Yeah, Robertson had a great year too.
Yeah, for sure. So, and that only bodes well for Dallas and for him, because he did have a great year, and things can only get better, and look up for that. So,
I love him.
Yeah, I'm a great kid, great player. I like his attitude.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not one of those guys that gives up. He gets his nose dirty. He's down there in the greasy areas. He's battling for the puck and the boards and stuff. So that's the kind of player we like.
My favorite part about Robertson is that he does that, but he does it with a smile on his face.
I know.
I love those guys that go out there and grind it out and then smile at people afterwards.
Skating back to the, yeah, see?
Love it.
Oh, man.
The Kachucks and those guys.
Exactly.
I love them.
I'm with you on that for sure. So a bright future for him, definitely for sure. And the final trophy that was awarded was the Vezina Trophy last evening here too, and I saved this one for last.
Yeah,
because we're probably going to have a nice little talk about this one too. Yeah. Because Marc-Andre Fleury won this award,
right?
And we both feel, and actually we all did at the SteelFlyers All Sports Network, felt that we all think that Vasilevsky was the better goaltender for the year.
Yeah.
However, the odds-on emotional favorite was going to be Marc-Andre Fleury, who had never won the trophy before, whereas Vasilevsky has won the trophy previously. Grubauer was also in the running for this trophy as well, too, but he finished pretty far back in third. And I think it was because the fact that he dropped off a lot at the end of the year by missing some time there due to injury and or COVID, whatever, and stuff like that. And I think Grubauer will potentially be there next year or, be in that same vein. Maybe. But he has the potential.
One third place vote, Grubauer. One. That was crazy.
Yeah. Really sad to see that. But here's the crux of this. Vasilevsky statistically was the better goaltender this year. Marc-Andre Fleury was statistically third this year in statistics. Now, I believe that Fleury had a better goals against average, but that was the only thing that I believe the statistically wise that he led in. Because I think even Vasilevsky had more shutouts. I think Vasilevsky played more games, had more wins, had a better save percentage. But I think that's the only spot there where Fleury was ahead of him, was in the goals against. Okay. Yeah. Where the goals against for Vasilevsky was like 2.01 and it was like 1.60 for Fleury. Okay. We all feel, I guess, is that Fleury, this was the emotional favorite and he won it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like one of those things where this is kind of following that same old pattern of what the NHL does. They reward guys that have had a great career, that haven't won the trophy in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what this feels like. Not that he wasn't in the running, because he was the top three goalies, was him and Grubauer and Vasilevsky. So, I mean, it's not like he wasn't a legit shot.
No. It's plain and simple. Vasilevsky was the best goaltender this year. I love Fleury. I thought he had a fantastic year. Great story. Amazing story. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and the league wanted to make sure they sent him off with the Vezina Trophy. I mean, for a lot of ways, if you want to look at it at the whole narrative, like the whole thing, he deserves it because he probably should have had one before this, and there was various reasons why he didn't, because he was on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and almost the same reason why Vasilevsky might not get it every year is because Tampa's team is so good.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh, that's true. Fleury didn't get it a lot of the times for the very same reason, and it's sort of like what the referees did. That what's his name that got fired by the league.
Yeah. This is a makeup call.
This is a makeup call. All along. I wouldn't even doubt if Vasilevsky himself called up and said, "Hey, you know what? Give it to him. He deserves it."
Oh, well. Hey, wouldn't that be cool?
It's a nice story and it's great like that, but for sure Vasilevsky was the best goaltender in the league this year. Tampa Bay actually was not that great this year. They'll be in the regular season at all.
All things considered, when you compare them to Vegas and Fleury and everything else like that, the team-wise and everything like that, yeah, Vegas had a better season this year as far as their record and everything else like that, but Tampa Bay is a defending champs, and they are in it, and Vegas is playing golf. So
yeah, Vasilevsky had tougher competition in the Central. I mean, there's so many things that you can take into the count there, right?
Well, maybe. All right. The last couple of little things here we're going to get into here is the awarding of the all-rookie team. Okay. And the all-rookie team consisted of goaltender Alex Nedeljkovic, Andre Miller, defenseman, Ty Smith, defenseman, Kirill Kaprizov, obviously the forward, Josh Norris, forward, and obviously Jason Robertson as the other forward. So there is the all-rookie team that is going out there. And I don't know. I pretty much... the only one I don't really know much about is Miller.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah. I mean,
that was a nice call. Keandre Miller was so underrated for the Rangers this year. He was fantastic. So
For the Rangers.
but
Okay.
yeah, and there you go. They got first team All-Star and the Norris Trophy winner on their team. Isn't that lovely?
And the Rangers are just, I mean, I don't know, man. They're gearing up to be a pretty good team next year, I think. And
I think the only iffy one here was Nedeljkovic. You could make a case that Lankinen could win it. But
yeah. You know, I'm with you on that. That could have been the case. But I think Nedeljkovic did play really, really well this year. You know what I mean? And I think it had a lot to do with the fact that he was on a better team.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. So we don't have too much of an issue with that. But now we have the last thing that we're going to get into is the first and second All-Star teams here that were announced. And the first All-Star team is Vasilevsky as goalie, Adam Fox as defenseman, Cale Makar as the other defenseman from Colorado, Connor McDavid, Mitch Marner, and Brad Marchand, as that's your starting first All-Star team right there. Now, the second All-Star team is Andre Fleury as goalie, Victor Hedman as defense, Dougie Hamilton as defense, Austin Matthews center, Mikko Rantanen as the wing, and Huberdeau as the other wing. I don't know about you, man, but I think that second team, I like that second team a little better, I think, than the first one.
Oh, really? Well,
I would switch Fox with Dougie Hamilton, and I would switch Matthews with probably McDavid. But I like that second. I thought Huberdeau had a great year.
I'm glad Huberdeau got some love there.
Yeah. And I thought Rantanen also had a really great year too for Colorado. That's why I like the second team a little better.
Some things that come off the page for sure. It just looks bad for the league.
Yeah.
To say that the best goaltender in the league was Marc-Andre Fleury, and he doesn't get the first team All-Star.
They got
it right here. Vasilevsky was the best goaltender in the league. Simple as that. So obviously, you know what? If I'm Marc-Andre Fleury, you're going up to the podium knowing that you're getting a career appreciation award is what you're getting.
Okay. Well,
you weren't the best goaltender in the league, but
still,
no McAvoy on here.
That's another name too that is suspiciously absent. I think I would have much rather. But McAvoy better more than Hedman.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Hedman had a bad year, and he said it himself.
Yeah. Because Dougie Hamilton had a pretty decent year this year.
Yeah. Hamilton was, he had a good year. You could switch it for McAvoy, and I wouldn't have,
either one. Yeah.
But I'd say Hedman, when somebody says himself that he didn't have a great year,
right?
And he didn't. For his standards, he's still fantastic.
The fact that he was in a good year and he's in the running for the Norris. All right.
Yeah. He was injured, and obviously. But obviously, he's doing pretty well now. Exactly. But that's the thing with me is, you got to give him the first team All-Star. It just looks bad on the league that you do that. I think from an optics standpoint, from people looking behind.
Yeah, I don't get it either, man. That doesn't make any sense to me either. So I don't get it. Well, there you have it, folks. We got to talk about the final awards that were awarded. We got to talk about first and second All-Star teams, and we also got to talk about the all-rookie teams. So there you have it. The great prognosticator, Pearlo Wisdom. Hey, man, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you sweating it out here a little bit for us. Where can we find you, and where can we get you, my man?
You can find me at SteelFlyers All Sports Network, of course, and then I do a live stream show on my YouTube channel, my NHL Pearls of Wisdom, from 3 to 5, where we talk about everything like we just talked about, but it's interactive. So if you come on,
check
whatever you say, you basically make the show. We run on whatever a lot of the guys say in the chat room.
Questions and everything. Yeah, man, that's awesome.
And then we have a lot of topics too that we talk about the playoffs. We do picks. We do all kinds of frolic there. So there will be frolic.
That's right.
It's fun. It's
awesome. That's awesome, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And let me tell you, SteelFlyers All Sports Network appreciates all the hard work that you do and that you put in, and we love the fact that you do the daily show here for us. So that's awesome, man. Really appreciate that. So thank you very much, Pearlo, for doing that, for holding that end up. You know what I mean? So thank you all very much for checking this out. This was the trophy awards that we got to break down here a little bit, and the all-star teams and the all-rookie team. And thank you all very much. I'm SteelFlyers. You can catch me on the web at www.steelflyers.com, where you can check out all of us, from Peyton on the radio to John from Off the Wall Hockey to the Hockey Writers Inc. Check us all out there at steelflyers.com. Thank you all very much for checking us out. Just remember, folks, stay strong, stay safe, and hang tough, and we'll see you on the field.